So, one of the most spectacularly childish but entertaining things just occurred here in front of me. I'm speaking to you, all the listeners. I'm getting prepped. Steve's patiently waiting. Then he reaches in his pocket and goes, "Ooh, I've got a caramel." And like a child, like my child, he sits there and unwraps the caramel patiently, pops in his mouth, and goes, "Ooh, this is good." Dude, I've been having a fucking rough day, and that fucking cheered it up. Thank you for that. Um,
I
uh,
didn't know what you were gonna say. I didn't know it was my caramel, but I don't often eat candy. That was damn good.
dude, candy's
Sticky as
delicious.
hell though.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna open up the show on a personal, sad note. So, in the jiu-jitsu community, um, a well-renowned black belt world champion was shot and killed in a nightclub um, Sunday morning, Saturday night, however you count. Hey, when people try to correct you, like last night, like, well, it was technically this morning. Doesn't fucking matter. He broke up an altercation in the bar, and the person that he ended up kind of subduing, he was like, "Are we done? Are we good?" The guy was like, "Yeah, we're good." The guy walks out, comes back moments later, shoots Leandro Lowe. Um, Disrespectful.
I don't
He
know what that
shoots
was.
Leandro Lowe 2 times. Uh, then, unfortunately, took his life. So it shouldn't affect me, like, because I didn't know him personally. I followed, his matches, so I was a fan. But kind of fucking sucks. So I've been a little down. I've also been just tired today, but I've been a little kind of down. And then my 6-year-old has been a fucking nightmare, like, since she's gotten back from her sleepover. So just one of those days. Uh,
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Leandro Lowe. All right. So, how you feeling, man?
Better than this morning. Um, Went to Fells last night. Had crazy work week, so just like Saturday's gonna be my fun day of like at least staying out for a little bit. But went to Fells, so now I've had back to back evenings in each one. I think Fells is a little more fun at night. Fed Hill's more maybe fun in the day. But overall, a good time. We had a lot of cherry bombs. I think that might be my what do you call it? It's not a shot. A bomb of choice, drink of choice. When you're out.
Called it a cherry bomb, so I would say it's a bomb. Word. Yeah. Yeah, you messaged me, asked, what I was doing. Like, Sarah took Sophie up for a sleepover up to uh, her godmother's. So I was like, oh shit, let's have a date night. Went out, nothing fancy, nothing crazy. Went out to Olive Garden. It's because I wanted some ziti. I haven't had ziti in years. So,
Dang, yeah, I can't remember the last time I had. I remember we had it at a place we formerly worked at briefly. We called it Baked ZD.
yeah.
I don't think it was
Yeah.
all that.
No, no. I mean, I've had, excuse me, some like real authentic good ziti. Um, and I just wanted some, so I went to Olive Garden.
Well, they're authentic.
Yeah, sure. Um, my waitress was giving me heavy Beyonce vibes. Sasha Fierce, the hair. She even looked kind of like Beyonce when she was talking. It sounds like it was Beyonce. I was pretty certain Beyonce waited on the set at Olive Garden last night.
Dang, times must be tough.
I mean, she just dropped a new album. Might not be doing that great. I don't know. But like, her what are they called? The Beehive or Bayhive? I don't fucking know what they fucking call these bitches.
Their fans, her
Yeah,
fans.
her fans. I think they're the Beehive.
She has that all-time great video of her passing the mic to the fan. the white girl, and that white girl kept saying, "Please no, please no, please no," and then she handed it to her anyway, and her voice was, man, it was bad.
Don't get in the front row at a concert if you can't sing.
Yeah, that, and same with like a comedy show. If you have thin skin, they sit you up front. Chances are you're gonna be in the show.
But yeah, we all got some dinner, saw a movie, so fun times. I'll get into the movie a little bit later on, but Jesus Christ. So yeah, it's weird because it's like I felt like I had a lot to say this week, but
It might come out.
But then when I look at the notes on the board, and it's like there's a bunch of nonsense there. But also when I text myself these notes, I have these conversations going on in my head. Like there's a note on here, Saved by the Bell, because I was watching Saved by the Bell. What, like, did I have any specific thing on about Saved by the Bell? I'm certain I did at 3 a.m. on Thursday. But now it's Sunday, and I don't know. I can say like Zach Morris is a horrible human, that's for sure. AC Slater, he's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. When I won a tournament back in March, like straight body slammed the dude. It wasn't even like that shit. Wasn't even like what we normally do in jiu-jitsu. This dude scooped him up, carried him, and drove him into the mat.
All of them looked way too old to be in high school.
Yeah,
But Slater was like a straight up bodybuilder.
So that first season, when it was called Good Morning Miss Bliss, they were fine. Even the second season, you can kind of get away with that shit. Once that third or the second half of the second season, all of a sudden, Slater looked like a grown ass man with a fucking full ass beard, almost look older than Mr. Belden. Fucking Zach, for sure. By the time they got to that whatever was supposed to be their junior year high school, Zach looked like a grown ass college student. Fucking Jesse out there popping pills, getting excited and scared.
Kelly definitely. Well, Screech looked pretty young.
Yeah, Screech always looked like a fucking turd. And then Kelly, like Kelly, that was nobody of a high schooler.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, she was not a high schooler.
If she was in high school, she was definitely dating outside of high school.
For sure. It was like, oh, what grade are you in? Oh, you're a sophomore. Oh, you're dating that one guy. He's a sophomore too. Oh, in college, which is creepy. I remember like going to high school, and I remember like we're freshmen. Oh, I like freshman girls with me because I'm a freshman. But they're dating all the seniors, which now we started looking back on it. I was like, that's some R. Kelly shit. Like, dude, you're 18, you're dating a 14-year-old? What the fuck's wrong with you, son? Like, ew, you nasty. But yeah, my notes are weird as shit. Like, fuck Ben Shapiro. That was a 2:30 in the morning random just text to myself.
He's the guy that debates stuff all the time.
He's super into his Bible. And everything has to be that way. And he has only had sex with his wife. And only his wife. And she's only had sex with him. Dude, I bet she's out there getting all the dick. All of them. She's getting plowed by the pool guy. Regularly. She has to be.
Is he the one who like debates stuff about like gender identity?
He debates everything. He's I believe he's Jewish. He's super into, what book did it have? Like the Quran? Or is that Muslims? I think that's Muslims.
Curious real quick if it's who I'm thinking of.
A little short.
Oh yeah, this is
like that guy. Yeah.
He's on Joe Rogan a lot.
Yeah. Like, and I always listen to the episode because it's like, I like to hear him say something and Joe will say something else. And he's like, well, no. Like, that's not how that goes. Like, Ben, you should really have some mushrooms. He's like, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, he's very straight-laced. I will say some of his debates, though, he is good at it.
Oh, no,
like
no,
he's
no.
super well spoken, and some of his stuff on the gender identity, I do like because I'm like, you can't tell me, we don't have a difference in sexes. Like, we definitely do. Like,
yeah. So, and that's the thing that gets really weird because it's like, I get that right now we're in this really weird time about all that. We just don't know. Like, we're learning. But when you get people that are like just so hard, like pressed on one side or the other for that matter, it's like, just chill, dude. It's like, my whole feeling is, look, if I say, so let's say we're out the bar. I'm a single lad, and a gal comes up to me. They're hitting on me, and you know, I'm like, this is a pretty good looking chick. And it turns out that, hey, it's a pre-op transgender woman. Now, if I say no, thank you, I'm going to get labeled as a transphobe.
Or though, if they don't even tell you,
So
that
that's
seems
I think
pretty
that's
messed up.
I think that's even worse, because if they don't tell you, then you say, "Ew,"
And then they fight it. Like, why should I have to tell you?
because maybe I don't like
Yeah,
penises against my thigh,
it's yeah.
other than my own.
But I mean, it's just like, I mean, it's information. That's some pretty important information. You might think it's not, but it is.
This is like, you might think it's not. It's like,
Yeah, because I've just heard the other argument. Like, why does it matter? You like me. You were attracted to me. Like, well,
until I found out that you
yeah,
had a bigger
and you
dick
could
than
be
me.
attracted to someone too, and you find out they got herpes everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm not into you.
It's like, you have an outbreak? Nah, that's all right. I got shit to do. You ain't one of them.
Like,
Yeah.
you find something else. Like, you know, I voted this way. What? Nah, it's not worth it.
No, like, nah, I still say fuck Ben Shapiro though. I don't know. I just don't like the guy. Like, I want to push him down the stairs. So there's that.
Let's push him.
No, I think that's like a lawsuit though. Like, he looks.
Oh,
like,
he would sue.
He looks like the kind of guy he has good lawyers.
I mean, Shapiro's his last name.
Actually, but I did put the Brittany Griner note up there because that's some serious news. So
Yeah, that shit's wild.
9 years.
So, yeah, and I mean, that is harsh. I'll just say the one thing with that is, like, it is like all the people free Brittany Griner, and I agree, but there's a bunch of non-famous people that have had the same thing happen, and no one gives a fuck about them.
So that was
So I'm like, I don't like
that was my
treating
argument.
her special. And I can't stand the people that say, if it was LeBron,
Mm-hmm.
it would. Well, LeBron wouldn't have done it. LeBron's been a good human in terms of, like, he doesn't have any dirt on him at all.
Yeah.
Not that she did bad, but it's pretty well known.
Well,
Don't travel with drugs.
She's been going over there since 2014.
Yeah.
So
You
she
can't
knows.
travel with drugs.
Um,
Even
and-
in the U.S., I mean, you can. I think Texas, in particular, is harsh on marijuana.
Well, and that's the crazy thing about all of it too. It's like people saying free Brittany Griner, free Brittany Griner. The thing isn't, let's say she gets sent back over here. Are we freeing the people who are in jail now for weed? I think that's up for vote this November.
Yeah, we don't even.
So-
We had people in jail for 20 plus years for marijuana charges in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. So it's like we're freeing her, but like you said, we got people with no names that are in prison.
And we're like, if we do free her, it's like going to be some kind of trade for some
Mm-hmm.
bad person or what we perceive as bad. And it's like, well, that's weird too. For Brittany, is she that important?
Is it like, but that's what Sarah and I were talking about. It's that social push though. It's that, well, you guys aren't protecting her because she's a black lesbian. You guys aren't going to protect her. That's what. So now there's this heavy lean to, well, we got to protect her because if we don't, then we look like we're homophobes and we're racist. Like, or maybe she's a criminal.
Yeah, I mean,
In that definition of the law over there, maybe
the
not
law
over here.
there,
She's not a criminal.
Broke the law. That is the punishment.
I mean, because let me tell you, if it was you or I, well,
Don't even care. No one probably wouldn't hear from us again.
yeah, like it's like, oh yeah. So there's this world renowned podcast, Colompton Bear Club. They went
We
out.
got a free Colompton. If we get locked up in Russia, please start the free Colompton revolution.
Please. But it's like, we go out there, they're like, yeah, so Dante had some CBD oil on him. And
Dante had a bunch of pills and a balloon in his butt.
so episode 118 of Off the Mats will address any butt stuff. listen to it. It's coming out. Well, it's out yesterday. By the time you all listen to this, but I'm editing it right now. I select my doctors based on their hand size, just because if they gotta, put a finger up there, I need to make sure that they got little hands. And my current doctor has these big fucking sausage fingers. I'm not fucking dealing with that, dude. So I'm about to request a new doctor.
I don't know. Maybe you try it. You might like it.
I won't. I know I won't like it. Well, because with my stomach, with having a colostomy, I had to have a whole lot of butt swabs with fingers, not from strangers, from doctors.
Yeah, I still
But my grandma
can't believe that's like one we've talked about it before. Of like that's still the technology is the finger and the butt test,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
the
also
only thing you can
what
do.
makes you want to be that doctor?
Or urologist.
Yep.
So what do you want to do when you want to grow up? I want to look at dicks. Okay, Billy. Yeah, just go to the principal's office. Like that's
Yeah, it's
just
strange.
some
Like,
wild
why
shit.
did that interest that person?
You know what?
Like, why do we also not look into
I
this?
I bet you they had the draw out of a hat, and there was like two dudes. It was like, God, I hope I'm not a urologist.
Because it's strange, like certain doctors, yeah, like a podiatrist.
Who wants to fucking play with feet, yo? That shit is
But
trash.
you have to like feet to want to go in that field, I would think.
Quentin Tarantino. Yo, could you imagine go to a podiatrist and they're like getting off on your feet, yeah? Like,
But why would they want to be like, what? Is it that it was easier? Like,
I don't know.
you have to have some kind of interest, I would think. To be like, I'm going to choose, so I'm smart enough to be a doctor. I'm going to put in the schooling. I'm going to go this direction of looking at feet.
It was like being a gynecologist. I mean,
That's understandable somewhat.
I don't know.
I don't think I would
want
want to. I feel like, do you think too? I always think about this. A male gynecologist, does it desensitize you looking at vaginas all day?
So look, I'll think of it this way. First off, the chicks who willingly just say, "Look, I'll take," I don't care. Give me the male fucking gynecologist. It's like, yo, y'all are wild. Because look, if I'm going to a urologist, I mean, I don't know if I want a female urologist, man. Because what if she cute? I ain't got no control over what's gonna happen down there. I don't think. I don't know. But, I had a guy, but then it'd be weird if you get a guy urologist and he grabs your balls and then you get hard. And it's like, oh my God, what is wrong with you?
We got to look up disapproval from the corner.
It's like, what is wrong with me? I'm not, how do we get away from Brittany Griner on that one?
We start talking about
Oh, because you said I have balloons up my butt. But no, yeah, the whole Brittany Griner thing, that shit is just wow. But you know what? Initially, I was like, you know what, free Britney, we need to go get our girl. But then it's like, but if it was you or I, they wouldn't go get
exactly
us. Like, man, fuck them.
Simple fact of the matter is she broke a law in another country, and that is the punishment and law there. So it's harsh, but it would happen to anyone. It wasn't. She's not being picked on.
It wouldn't happen to LeBron.
LeBron, I feel like, has a lot of people to tell him, don't bring this into Russia.
I feel like he's smart enough to know.
Also, I have to give props to LeBron on this. There's not too many athletes that have no dirt on them that's as big as him. Like, even Kobe had something. Jordan had, like, a divorce type thing, something on the gambling.
Problems.
Like, everyone has some kind of... LeBron has no dirt.
Good for him.
Like, he's probably, like, a really... Like, one of those people raised well. Well, the only dirt on him was his dang mom. It's not even on him. But his mom hooking up with Delonte West.
Yeah, that's not even him.
So I mean, he's like a properly brought up, and then his two kids, I think, are like both NBA prospects. And like,
I mean, good for that guy.
I'm not a huge LeBron fan, but
I mean,
he's a good dude, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Is like, I don't particularly care about LeBron, but I also think he seems like a good guy.
Yeah, he seems like too like I don't know how to say it, like almost like the perfect role model in a way, but yet so many people hate him.
I wonder though if behind the scenes, he just be saying, he be letting loose. He be saying all the worst things. He be beating his kids, yo. It's like fucking Bronny up. Like Brownie Benson's shot, you're like, get over here now. Go get a switch. And just beat the shit out of him.
That should be wild though. If LeBron just stays and plays, and then the Lakers get both of his kids eventually. They're all on the same team. Now, if that happens, I'll cheer for LeBron. If he plays with his both sons, that'd be both.
I would like to see them do well. if it's a family thing,
It'd be funny. LeBron yelling at his kids, "What are you doing?"
Like, like, get back on defense. What are you doing? Dad, I am on defense. Then you fucking suck. Like, just get off the goddamn court. That'd be wild. Like, his kids are in the starting lineup. And you're like, oh, nepotism.
There's one of those videos where LeBron's looking at the stat sheet and sees the meme is joking, like, LeBron sees Russell Westbrook's stats, his shooting stats, and he looked over at Russell like, what the fuck?
Good grief. All right, let's rate this beer, dude.
Yeah, this is a good one. I like it.
It's pretty tasty.
So it's called Atomic Torpedo. It's by Sierra Nevada, so a big beer company. This is an Imperial IPA, so it's a mix of, and the style of beer this is supposed to mix East Coast and West Coast. So the East Coast is juicy style, and the West Coast dank. Which when I hear dank, I think of marijuana. And it doesn't taste like marijuana as far as I know. But big positive on this for us. This is an 8.2%. And a big can.
I mean, 2 double whammies right there. 8.2, and that fucking can is a monster.
I think taste wise, it's better. It doesn't. I wouldn't say I don't get any like some IPAs with the orangey peel. I don't taste any fruitiness.
No.
But it's not overly bitter, and I feel like it's pretty refreshing. I put an ice in mine, so mine was probably a little colder. I tried to keep it as cold as I could for you.
No, it was good. It was good.
What do you give this one?
Let me give it an even 7. I liked it, but I don't know if I would drink this too often.
To me, where it was so smooth, and sometimes I like that it doesn't have the fruit. Sometimes the fruit, like over drinking more and more, I'll get a little tired of it. Yeah. So this one I actually gave a 7.9. So we don't differ that much that often. But
well, not by that much, but because this is one. I mean, it's not bad. It's just like this is one I enjoyed it, but I'm also thinking too. I'd drink one of these. That'd be fine.
I do like this little sign. It says family owned, operated, and argued over. His families argue.
Not mine.
Mine definitely does.
My family's perfect, son.
Yeah, I'll let you pick the next one. Right, my right or left?
Your left.
The better can for sure.
Yeah,
this one feels nice and cold too.
That's what I went off for. Was the can was bright and colorful. So Aaron Rodgers out there taking psilocybin now.
I believe he said it helped him.
Yeah. Well, so the reason I wanted to bring this up because I saw this on ESPN the other morning, and I thought it was cool. I was like, okay, and he said it's helping him. Good. So the fucking assholes at ESPN are all just sitting there clowning and laughing like, oh, like all this fucking bull. And I'm sitting there looking like, all you motherfuckers smoke weed. And I bet y'all take mushrooms too. So y'all sitting here clowning this dude.
The NFL was still strict on marijuana because I knew the NBA is pretty relaxed on it. I wonder if the NFL has changed. But I mean, Josh Gordon was getting popped left and right for marijuana.
So I heard that they were kind of reducing it, and maybe not even.
I know Chris Cooley used to talk about it. It was like they know around the time they're going to be tested, and what ends up happening is everyone knows that, and as soon as they're tested, then everyone's just smoking.
Yeah.
And again, because football's a painful sport, and to deal with inflammation, it's either you can do marijuana, where there's apparently little side effects, or you can do Percocets and shit like that.
And get hooked.
Yeah, have huge, terrible effects.
It's really weird how that works. So it's like, oh, here's this natural thing that's probably not going to harm you at all. I mean, there are some minor side effects depending. Your genetics play heavily. So I have a friend, he smoked a lot of weed as a kid, and he got a lot of fatty tissue around his pecs. And that was directly correlated to him smoking weed.
Damn.
which was wild because when I heard it, I was like, get the fuck out of here. It's not perfect.
So he grew boobs.
Yeah, he had man titties. Like his name was Robert Paulson.
Oh yeah. Dang, he died too.
Yeah.
Meatloaf. We should have done a Robert Paulson.
I mean, I put a post up.
I thought, yeah. I like the little Fight Club that you posted about it.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, trust me, I know. I'm perfect.
Mr. Perfect.
I'm beautiful, bitch. But yeah, so I don't know. Like that was kind of my whole thing with the whole Aaron Rodgers doing the mushrooms and stuff. I thought it was cool. He said it helps him, and like I have some other friends. I mean,
I think he said he had the 2 MVP seasons after it.
yeah, I have some friends that they're experimented with it, and they're like, it's been very helpful for them. I was like, sign me up, son.
It's like that ayahuasca
let me
thing
in.
people talk about. Like, it changes you forever. You do it once.
Yeah, well,
And it seems to be positive.
like ayahuasca, DMT is kind of in the same pocket. Let me do mushrooms first. Like,
I've heard a lot of
let me go that route
music
first.
people do mushrooms. So I've never done mushrooms, but like I remember hearing stories of like just Cypress Hill on tour. That was their thing. Like all tour. Like that was their, and I mean they have very positive things to say on it. It sounds like creatives. It opens up your creativity even more.
I have a friend. She was telling me she basically microdoses, like just like all the time. I was like, and it helps her. She deals with a lot of shit. She's like, it helps her quite a bit in that regard. I was like, you know what? I'm not opposed to it at all. Even Sarah was like, I'm down, which is crazy to hear Sarah say that because it's like, bitch.
She doesn't have a different kind of nightcap. She doesn't have the mushroom cap.
So, I'll give her a mushroom cap. Her birthday's coming up. Actually, the day that this episode comes out will be her birthday. So, happy birthday to my wife. About to give me some 40-year-old pussy tonight. I was like, yeah, what's up now?
Oh, yeah. I guess that's the... Will that be the first 40?
Yeah. I mean...
you can give us an update if it's different.
Which, I'll update y'all next week. I'm going hard in the paint. But
should be episode 41.
But no, like my whole thing with him taking the mushrooms again, like I said, I thought it was cool, but I was just annoyed that everyone on ESPN was just trying to fucking make a mockery of it. But I think that's part of it's part of that shit though too. Part of the whole show, the whole gag to it all is like, instead of fucking having the balls to say, yeah, well, no, someone I can't remember, was it Damian Woody? I think Damian Woody was the only one out of the 4 or 5 of them who was like, I think that's cool. Everybody else was like cracking jokes. And it's like, man, what the fuck? First off, fuck all y'all on this panel. All of y'all fucking suck. You're out of the league. You're on ESPN. This dude's still in the league taking mushrooms and win MVPs on him. So,
yeah, people, it's crazy how good of a year Aaron Rodgers had because they didn't go as far as they should.
Yeah.
He's kind of looked at as a little bit of a knock from last year. It's like, dude tore it up.
Yeah, he did, but I still knock him because Detroit. So fuck Aaron Rodgers, fuck Green Bay. But good for him in those mushrooms, though. I'm proud of the dude.
This is gonna be a while. I can't wait for this season. We have so many quarterbacks on different teams, so I feel like it's gonna be a wild year.
Oh yeah. And another thing, let me address this real quick on the air. I saw you fucking put the date on there, punk. Fuck you.
You didn't have any reaction though.
You just liked it. I gave it a like because I was like, I'm not even going to do this right here. I'm going to save it for the show. And I was like, I'm sitting there because initially I was going to say, oh, what my foster mom's 40th birthday, or 50th birthday. What's up, son? Like what are we doing? And I was like, okay, you're trying to be cute, motherfucker. Fuck you. But yeah, I mean that's the thing in sports though. Period. It's like you could be, fucking spectacular. Dan Marino, even Peyton Manning up until he didn't when he won the first Super Bowl with the Colts. They were like, oh, he's great, but he just can't win the big one. And it's like, okay, I mean, and that is your job to go there and win the Super Bowl. That is, what your goal should be.
I mean, it's like what we argued not argued, but we brought up last week with Lamar versus Joe Flacco. A lot of Ravens fans will say Flacco's the better quarterback because he won the Super Bowl, but Lamar won an MVP.
Well, the thing is, though, too, is like you won a Super. You were on a Super Bowl team,
Yeah,
and yes,
and so did Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was nobody thinks of Trent Dilfer as a good quarterback.
So, and that's whenever they bring up that argument about Super Bowls, it's like, so you think Trent Dilfer's better than Dan Marino and Jim Kelly?
That's it. Yeah, Jim Kelly gets a knock because he never won. I mean, LeBron does too because of how many championships he's lost.
I mean, the fact is, though, then they do go to fucking finals 10 years in a row.
Yeah, you gotta remember that.
Fucking bananas, yo. Like, I don't like LeBron.
With different teams.
As far as like a player and like, just basketball wise, I'm not a fan. I mean, he's a great player.
And he's
probably
won
the greatest. But
a championship every team he went to.
Yeah. I mean,
he won Cleveland, Miami, Lakers.
He had to come back to Cleveland to win that one. He saw the writing on the wall at first. I was like, we ain't gonna win. Well, I'm going to Miami. One there. It was like, all right, I won. Now I figured it out. Let me come back here. Oh, whoa, we got a team.
I figured it out. We gotta just bring. Let me give you Kevin Love and Kyrie.
He was like, oh, I got a team.
I need
here.
3 people. We'll be good.
And then he went over to the Lakers and he won it during the COVID season. Does that count? I mean, it counts, but does it? It doesn't.
So I feel like him too. Like he's where he has no dirt. I think some of those players were in that thing trapped and probably just partying hard in their rooms and stuff. LeBron was probably taking it serious as hell.
I mean,
but yeah, that season was weird. I mean, at least he had Anthony Davis was healthy, so.
Yeah. I mean,
because now that dude stays hurt.
That's unibrow.
Yeah, there's some suspect old videos of him. I think there's a video of him like rolling around in the locker room and someone snatches his towel and he's just giggling like crazy.
Was it Odell? Yeah. All right. Well, look. Good for Aaron. Good for LeBron. Good for anybody that's good out there hustling and busting their ass. And these ESPN fucking punk ass bitches running their mouths. Fuck them.
Today there's a little news of just Kareem Hunt is demanding a trade. And Cleveland was like, nah. I was like looking into it more. It's like, I think he's only getting paid like $1 million with like $4 million in incentives, which for how good he is, I'd be like, nah, we got you good this year. We're barely paying you. Yeah, so he's trying to do the Debo Samuel, trying to hold out, and then hopefully it leads to a contract. I mean, Cleveland has him probably because, I mean, he's getting older. I think if I was in Cleveland's situation with Chubb, I would just want Kareem Hunt for just one more year, and maybe I'll sign him again, but we got you for $1 million this year? That sounds good to me.
Nah, you here. Fuck you.
Yeah, so I don't think they're going to trade him. But I guess he could refuse to play. And
he could. And then get his $1 million.
Yes.
I mean, shit.
I guess he doesn't get it if he refuses to play.
I don't got $1 million, so, I mean, shit.
But yeah, and then there was some talk of like, well, he should just play as hard as he can this year and work for that next contract. But at the same time, I was like, he could probably sit out a year and get a contract next year.
So on the GM mode on 2K, when it's time to re-sign players and they come talk to you like, yo, can I get, can I get re-signed? And one of your options is say, kind of let them down passively. It's like, nah, you don't want to sign now. You want to play hard this year and earn that contract. You'll get more money. It's like, that's fucked up. But I always select that option because their reaction is always, you know what? I never back down from a challenge. Bet it's on. And it's like
it pays off sometimes to bet on yourself, but then at the same time, if your career ended that year, you're effed. So a player like Lamar, who's MVP, he's not getting his next contract yet. If he somehow got a career-ending injury this year,
fingers
he's
crossed.
done. Like, no more money. So it's like, I don't know. I think if I was in his position, I'd be like, I'm not playing unless I get a contract.
I mean, he could say that. But he's a team player. He'll play.
He's going to get hurt. Dang.
I can't wait.
Then we have
Oh my
30
god.
for 30.
Yeah, then when I hear all the
Lamar
Ravens
being
fans
the first player.
crying now, dude, that'd be so great.
Well, that's the thing with them is the fact that he hasn't been
Then
offered a contract makes me think like they want to see how he plays. They're not sold. That dude Huntley in the background, he don't run like Lamar, but he's got a better arm.
yeah, I mean, I think if they didn't bring Lamar back, they'd be fine with Huntley. But or if they didn't give him an extension,
And Huntley's I think's already signed, so he's significantly cheaper than what Lamar will be.
I mean, honestly, at this point, fucking trade him.
And maybe
If you're feeling that way, trade
Yeah.
him, get something for him.
yep,
Why let him walk? So I don't know, but I'm no GM. I only play video games.
we would trade him.
Yeah,
I'd trade him to Washington.
I'd trade the shit out of him.
Like, what?
I send him straight to Detroit. Like,
Yeah, we'll take him.
No, actually, I wouldn't send him to Detroit.
I'm gonna trade him to
because
Washington for Carson Wentz. It's a good trade.
Detroit's system wouldn't even fucking work for that dude. And I don't think Dan Campbell is a hardball type coach that's gonna mold to Lamar. You're like, you just got to get out there and like hard nosed football. And I was like, what the nah, that's not what we're doing. Like,
Campbell might just run the ball every play.
yeah, I was gonna say. Then again, yeah, they just
Because Swift
smash
is a
mouth.
beast. Yeah, they might just turn
run.
Lamar into a
Dude,
they'll run just option every play.
I hope, God, I hope the Lions just fucking run the ball into the fucking ground next year.
Swift is looking like a good pick as long as he's healthy.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. He's got to stay healthy. And the Lions running backs have not quite been healthy in recent years since Barry.
Carry on Johnson. I remember that's who Washington wanted, and then you guys took him, and then we got what's his name, Darius Geis, which I have an autographed football of, and I was just talking about that. What would you do with an autographed football by Darius Geis? He's the one who got all the sexual harassment stuff and is basically out of the league.
So what I would do is I would put that in one of those shadow boxes, and I would get framed like pictures of like scantily clad women, Playboy covers around it. Like, what is this? This is the Darius Guy shrine. He signed this ball, and these are maybe not the women that he harassed, but you get where we're going with this. It's like, so you look up to this guy? No, not at all. But I got a signed ball, so I got to do something with it.
Yeah, but it's like cool. It's in a case. It's framed, and I'm like,
Yeah.
he basically played like less than. I mean, he played very little. When he played, he looked like he was gonna be a star. He tore his ACL the first year, so we didn't have him at all. And then next year, that was when I think they dropped Adrian Peterson because I figured he's gonna be the Adrian Peterson. Then all the allegations came out, and there was a lot with him, and nobody has looked at him.
Yo, speaking of allegations,
Because he never got off on everything, but nobody's looked at him.
there's like some like massage convention going
Yeah,
up
that shit's
in
wild.
Cleveland. So I feel like maybe, just maybe, I think this will be during Deshaun's suspension. He should probably just fucking get out of town, just to be safe.
He's gonna be there. That's his.
So yeah,
The
like
NFL setting him up. But
let's
yeah,
talk about that suspension.
he what do you call it?
He got,
He got 6 games, but he is, what do you call it when you
they're trying to appeal it.
appeal it? I don't know why in my head I was thinking repeal. It's
Well,
the bid.
he's not trying to appeal it. Like someone, like I guess I don't know who's trying to appeal. They're trying to get the full
his
season.
camp is. So no, well, what happened is he is appealing it, which is dumb because now it's going to go to a judge and he could potentially get more. So if he would have accepted it with no protest, he would have just got 6 games. He's the one who's like, I didn't do anything. So he's a dumbass because now it's probably going to go up to at least 12. They're saying
So
he could have accepted it and then it would have sort of admitted some kind of guilt.
if he could prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that he did nothing wrong here, I feel him. But it's like, look, man, there's 30 broads.
We've
coming
already
out.
like paid off almost all of them.
So if you did nothing, why are you paying them off?
Right. But then I even wonder what it is. Like, it's not appropriate to come on to your masseuse.
That's
But at
not.
the same time, I'm wondering how many times he probably did it and they were fine with it.
That's true. It's like, you know,
We've talked about it before of like when you come onto a girl strongly, it's like if you're a cute guy, it's cool.
yeah.
But if you're ugly, then it's creepy.
Well, like 50 Shades of Black or 50 Shades of Gray. It's like, oh, word, you're a billionaire? Get fucking freaky all you want. Oh, you only make 20,000? Ugh. Sexual harassment. Stat.
I saw a recent video of like TikTok. This guy was asking like, you know, if a guy did this and he's cute, you find it acceptable. But what if it's an ugly guy, you find it creepy? And they're like, yeah, you're right.
No, I mean, it's a fact. Yo, women are trifling, son. That's a fact. Like, they think just because they can
So if
fucking
you're
vote
ugly,
and
you
they're
can't
allowed,
do it.
and they're allowed to drive now, like, they can just make all these rules. Like, the fuck? My body, my choice. Get the fuck out of here.
Dishes aren't done on time anymore.
The fuck's my sandwich?
Laundry's not
I
folded.
hope her headphones are in. All right, let's rate this beer.
Yeah, so this one is Pulp Art. So I guess the name's kind of playing off pop art. It's by Brooklyn Brewery, Brooklyn, New York. New England style IPA. This definitely is a more typical IPA. It's a blend of beer and art. I don't know about that. The can's cool. I mean, it's like Seattle. Trying to be different with their colors. But basically, it's typical IPA of notes of pineapple. So instead of orange, it's pineapple.
Mm.
It's not bad.
Well,
6.5%.
I didn't catch any hints of pineapple, but I did. I thought it was delicious. I enjoyed it. I gave the last one a 7. That was based off of alcohol. It was a 6-7. I liked it, but again, not some. I don't think I would drink a bunch of these.
Yeah, I think it's very good. Whoa, the notes online are wrong.
What's
We
that?
might have a little bit of a asterisk now. The can is saying 8%.
Oh, well, give me a 7-1.
Which does explain why I was like, I feel like I'm talking a little slurred all of a sudden. And a 6.
So
I had notes 6.5. So yeah, the internet is wrong.
fucking. Is it? Well, of course. Do you trust the internet?
No, but
Yeah, I don't
damn,
trust shit on the internet.
8.0. All right, so that does change things a little bit. I do think it's a typical hazy IPA. Poured nice. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give it a 7 flat because I feel like it's good. I'm gonna amend it. 'Cause I feel like 7 means I'm gonna buy it. I probably wouldn't buy it. So 6.9.
That's a good call, but
Like I like it. If someone gave it to me, I'm gonna
well, yeah,
enjoy
I'm
it,
not gonna turn it
but
down.
I'm not gonna pick it. I'm not gonna pick this out.
And I'm gonna stick with my 7. I'm gonna stick with my 7-1.
We gave it a 6.7.
Well, I gave it a 6-7. Well, but the alcohol is 8,
Yep.
so that's why I moved it up.
Which one? So you want to go
I'm
7.1?
gonna give it a 7-1.
Oh snap! Oh, so that gives it a 7.0. So
There
you
you
got
go.
into the 7s. You get into the 7s, you're in a different color category on my list.
So no, what I wanted to do, because I mentioned this last week, like going out, grabbing a day drink. I was gonna say, let's just go out,
Let's do it.
grab 3 beers, do an on-the-spot review, come back, talk, do our regular conversation, and just drop. I'll drop those ratings into the episode.
I'm hoping after this week I should be somewhat back to normal.
But I can't do it next week. So
Yeah, we'll plan. And
Or,
we're
yeah.
moving soon, so
I think I don't know when I'm, because I'm also trying to. Well, I sent you the picture of the table. I'm looking at possibly getting back here, so I want to make sure that when my next Instagram check comes in, I'll get that for there. But yeah, so
When we-
look here.
when we move, we want to throw a small kind of move-in party. I definitely want to play like some drinking games, so like beer pong, maybe Circle of Death.
Well, I mean, as long as it's Friday or Saturday, I'm more likely to be there because Sarah should be off. Um, but either way, I like alcohol. If it's a Saturday, even better because I ain't got to work the next day, and then I'm down to fucking go streaking. If it's a Friday, I'm not going streaking. So, um,
Yeah, we're looking to get thrown out of our apartment the first week. It's like,
well, I mean,
maybe not the first week, so we'll wait.
I'm looking to get arrested potentially. Um, so this morning, I went to sleep like dumb late, like 3:30, maybe 4 o'clock. TikTok. I found the twerk video, son. I just sat up. Yo, it's addictive because you just let the video go, then you swipe up, and there's another fucking like bunch of ass just in your face.
Yeah,
It's like, oh my god. So I stayed up till about 3:30, 4 o'clock looking at ass videos, just shaking in my face. So I was fucking amazed, just amazed by it. Then I got up early this morning and went and did a kettlebell workout with my neighbor. First time I've done like a kettlebell workout, like a full like good times. I'm actually have a video. He did a video for his Instagram, so I'm gonna repost on Off the Mats tomorrow, or no, BJJ Wiki. But it was fun. It was a good workout. My fucking legs are burning right now, but
I'm trying to get
it's good stuff.
I've been taking some time off of lifting because I had some freaking joint issues in my knee, got injected. I need to lose weight, so I was doing good, and then kind of fell off back into the 190s, which is not a good weight for me for volleyball and stuff. So I'm gonna cut weight, but I think with this move, I'm back motivated to. I mean, I want to start lifting it. So my lifts, I mean, they haven't gone down, but lifts are pretty good for my weight. But I fell off for the last part of it was work, but like probably 2 months now because I was doing good. We were losing like both of us were losing like 2 pounds a week, and then just fell off. Get back to it.
Yeah, July. I think July did pretty well considering I wasn't doing shit. Like other than like I just cut out like pastries and like
Yeah,
not
cutting
all
carbs does really good. For
like I didn't cut out like all like sugars and stuff, but like like unnecessary shit. Like because on a random like just day I'd be at work, I'd walk, I'd drive up to the store, get like 3 fucking honey buns and fucking smash them with ease, and then feel gross. But what happened? So I hadn't had a honey bun all of July, and at the end of the month I was like, all right, let's go jump in. It was gross. It was too sweet for me. I was like, but that's what I wanted. I want to be away from it so much that when I have it, it's not good. So, I didn't check my weight this Friday because I was doing it every Friday because I believe like July 1st was a Friday, so that's when I started. So we're doing the kettlebell workout with my neighbor. We were supposed to start last Wednesday, but he had a prior engagement that he forgot about. So it was like, which worked out because I got fucked up at jiu-jitsu. So this morning I go over, we had the resistance bands out and everything, kettlebells. I started with 18. He was like, just start with 18. You're gonna outgrow it pretty quickly, but it's good to still keep that lighter weight around to work technique. So like, okay, fair enough. So I got the 18. Did my portion of the workout with him. I'll probably move up to 25 next, just as a comfortable number. I think he was doing like 40, 43 maybe, which kudos to him. I'm pretty sure I could do it with 43, but let's relax. It's my first time, like I don't normally do this, like so it's my first time, so I want to take it easy. Don't want to show off. But it was fun. It was fun. I think next week we're gonna probably do it again, then come over here and record. I've been stacking my episodes for Off the Mats. Like I just got through my July run, July into August, and like I'm set up for the rest of August and September. I got a groove, son. Got a groove. The thing is with the horror podcast, I'm starting to fall behind there because it's kind of stressful.
I got some ideas for ours. We'll again, this is a terrible time at work for me. But coming up, I think the move things improve. I'm trying to get Rupert trivia going, and I think that could be a thing. Maybe a once a month thing, or maybe it's that we record some of that in advance the
Well, yeah.
trivia when he can do it, and we'll
That's
add
what I'm
it in.
saying. Like we can record stuff at different times and drop it in.
So I think he'll be good. And I think
Um,
he is interested in doing that.
what was it? Like, because Sarah was talking about some shit at Starbucks. It was like if they sold this year round, it'd be great. It was like, but it wouldn't be special. That's why I like doing things like if we do something all the time, it's like, oh, it's not special anymore. If you do it like once a month, it's like, okay, it's special. Like we're looking forward to it. But that's the thing when people are looking forward to it, like do it all the time. Then you do it all the time. It's like, we're over
Yeah,
it now.
so maybe we'll do that once a month,
It's like,
and then maybe have a guest maybe once a month to just sit in. By the way, real quick, I don't know why it made me think. For the first time, I keep my hair short. I was trying to do it myself, and then I just realized fading it's too hard. Anyways, the lady cut my beard for me. I never had that done before, so
What?
I like the shape she did, right?
Oh.
But then I looked in the mirror today, and my mustache was like, it's like a half.
when
It's too high up. I'm like, yo, I got a rainbow around my lip. What the hell is this?
I just do my own shit. I get the clippers. Zip, 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 zip.
I didn't know it was extra. She was like, "Do you want me to clean that out?" I said, "Yeah," and she's like, $10, and I was like, "Oh, dang, maybe not." But I just went with it that time. I think getting it done once, now I can now I'll just trace over your line. Because besides that, she did a good line.
All right.
You want to go into movies? 'Cause I got a lot to say about one movie.
All right, and say your lot, because I got a lot to say about 3 movies.
I got a little.
Actually, I got a lot to say about 1 movie, but I
So
watched
one
3.
movie. I'll be passionate about this one. The Harder They Fall. Fucking amazing. highly
Before
recommend.
we say fucking amazing, tell me about it. Like, because you might say it's fucking
It's
amazing,
a
then you tell me
western.
about it.
It's
I'm
a
like,
modern
dude,
western,
sounds like trash.
modern western movie. So typical. I've grown up watching western movies.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
this
yeah.
is a more modern one. So it's all pretty much an all black cast, by the way. So different. Like whoever made it's probably trying to do something different. Whoever the director is, his name I wrote down James Samuel. I don't know who he is, but I want to check out more about him. Just to name some of the cast, Idris Elba is the main.
His name is Black James Bond.
Jonathan Majors, never seen him before, but he might be one of the best acting performances I've ever seen. Zazie Beetz. That's
Adore her.
she's amazing. Regina King, which she's amazing in this movie. Like best performance I've ever seen by her. A bunch of other stars. What makes this movie good though? So the story is a little bit of a typical Western type revenge type story. There's a good twist at the end that I liked a lot. I'm usually good at picking out those twists. Didn't see this one right away. What makes this movie good? The cinematography is as high as you can get. The music to the movie is as high as you can get. The style of the movie is outstanding. The cast is probably the best cast in a movie that I've seen in a long time. Like every single person is casted perfectly, and they're all great actors. I saw a review that kind of said the same thing of like the story's it's a good story, but it's not anything abnormal. Pretty much this day and age, nothing's that original. But it's like, god damn, this movie had style and charisma. The main character is Jonathan Majors, is Nat Love, so he has. Try to tell a little bit without spoiling it, because I want you to watch this one if you can. It's on Netflix, so.
Then I'm probably not watching it.
So, but yeah, there's 2 gangs. The movie starts off with a kid. Idris Elba plays Rufus Buck. The movie starts out with him just showing up at his family's house. The main character is a kid. Basically shows up, sits at the dining room table with his parents, kills both parents, says the father's kind of like, this is between you and me. Let's take it outside. Nah, he shot the mom first to make sure he proved the point to hurt that dude. Kills the dad. Then the kid, though, he cuts a cross onto his head, but lets the kid live. So then years later, that kid is Nat Love. He's grown up. basically he wants to have revenge on everyone that killed his parents. He has a gang called the Nat Love Gang. The other gang's called the Crimson Blood Gang. It's just a really cool one. It reminds me of a little bit of like how Snatch had great cinematography and a coolness factor to it. This movie is elite. It would be in my top 15 for sure. Highly recommend. Highly recommend.
Can you name your top 15 right now?
No, because I'm trying to think if I can name my. I think it's a top 10 for me. It's just that it's a long movie though. I could name the movies that not in order.
I was gonna say, well, like how long is a long movie to you?
I mean, this was over.
Because I sat through a 4-hour Justice League.
Oh no, nothing like that. Yeah.
So
nothing like that.
Like
I think it's 2.5.
That's
That's longer than today's traditional movies.
That's fine.
But it's great. It's a great movie. But yeah, I mean, it's the thing that makes it great again is the cast, the style, the cinematography. The acting is just phenomenal. The main dude is fucking riding on a horse, no hands, shooting guns with both hands. Like, goddamn. If someone doesn't win some kind of award for this movie, it's crazy.
Awards are dumb.
I'll say what's hurting it in like seeing it because it's an all black Western. You know,
That's what's hurting it.
yeah. How many? Probably not too many black people have been into huge westerns because it was all white people. You know.
No, there are quite a
No,
few.
there's cute. There's few, but I'm saying I think that's because this movie should be way bigger than it. It's got great
So
reviews.
I'm aware of the movie. Well, like I heard about the movie when it was like when it came out, or like when it was like they're promoting it, but it didn't get heavily promoted. So obviously you lose track of it. Because as soon as you started mentioning the cast, I was like, oh yeah, I did hear about this.
Yeah, the cast is one of the best full cast in terms of like everyone's performance is great. But yeah, Zazie Beetz, I was like, damn, she looks so familiar. I was like, that's what it's from the freaking Joker. Because
I was going Deadpool.
But and Deadpool. But that was the more recent movie that I saw with her. It was the Joker. So I was like, she looks so familiar. That dude, what's his name? Is it Delroy? The older guy. You'd know his look. I actually didn't know his name.
I don't know a lot of names, but yeah, if you hit me with if I saw them, but I get you.
Yeah, the director's crazy, so I'm curious of what else he's done. I'm gonna look that up later. But this is one of I've seen some good movies this year in the theater. This would be my favorite movie of the year by a lot.
So speaking of Joker, they are doing a sequel to that. They just released a teaser. Nothing major. They just show like silhouettes dancing. So it's Joker and Harley Quinn. Lady Gaga will be Harley Quinn. So, and I love her as an actress, dude. Like
I can see her being Harley Quinn.
The thing is, I just I enjoyed that movie as a movie. I didn't enjoy that movie as a Joker movie. I thought it was a really fucking good movie. They called that movie Crazy Guy with Problems. They're like, dude, this was a fucking great movie. They called it The Joker. I was like, it's fine. Like, the fucked up thing is I bought it. I don't know that I'm ever going to watch it again. But then later that night I watched Shazam. I rented that. And I was like, dude, I should have bought Shazam. Because Shazam, both comic book movies, but Shazam had some heart to it where Billy Batson, he's a foster kid. And in the movie he finds his mom. And dude, there's just this heartbreaking part. I fucking teared up because it was like, dude, this shit hurt. And I was like, I should have bought this. Why did I buy that fucking Joker movie? This fucking hair lip fucking Joaquin Phoenix is in this fucking movie, so I bought it. It was good. It was worth it, but still, I'm not ever gonna watch it again. But yeah, so that's all I want to say about the Joker. Because as soon as you said Zazie Beetz, I was like, oh yeah, Deadpool.
Regina King, I was like, damn, how old do you think she is?
She's 50.
You're right. And, she has a fight scene that's like,
So
props
she
to
was
her.
in
God damn.
she was in the Watchmen TV series on HBO, which was fucking great.
Because she always, from what I've seen, she's always like in the sitcom type roles, the comedy. And this is more, the other thing to say about this movie, it's just badass of all the characters. Like, she's freaking badass. Treacherous Trudy is her name.
She was in
She's ruthless.
a Watchmen series on HBO. That was really good. I thought it was fucking great. As a matter of fact, a lot of people comic book again. People are like, well, it had nothing to do with the comic book though. It was like it did, but it didn't. It was still a good movie. But the thing is, I think why people are getting upset because it talked about Black Wall Street and the burning down of it, and a lot of people, myself included, were not aware of any of this. So a lot of people are like, yo, this is the first time we're hearing about this. And then a lot of people were like, well, why'd they have to bring that up? Why, you know, white folks get. Like, why are they bringing up the past? Well, because it got buried and, you know, maybe that's something we should know so we don't repeat it. Because we're repeating the past a lot now. So, yeah.
In cycles. Yeah, one last thing to say about in terms of being like obviously it's a western, so it takes place in the old days, but it's not a true story, obviously. But the movie starts with just saying like this is not based on a true story, but people like this did exist, and it is wild back then. Of like there was a lot of freaking gangs and shooting and like the quick draw type shit, and it was wild to live back then. And I wish I could remember one of Regina King's line, but it was basically like this dude was comparing something to being like a hard life, and like we call that a Monday, because back then life was tough.
Well, it's like when you talk about just any of the stuff from back then. We call, you know, people savages and monsters, but that was just the times, unfortunately. I mean,
Yeah,
compared to today, yes. Like, Columbus was a monster. He was a fucking savage. But that was just life back then.
I finished Troy, and which I thought Troy was a great movie, but that again was going with the conquering. Like back then, people
Yeah.
you lived to conquer land.
That-
Kings wanted to just conquer more.
Well,
There was no reason for it.
That's what Vladimir Putin did. He was like, you know what? I want Ukraine back.
Yeah.
Conquer it. They're like, okay, you can try. Who knows what's going on with that? We stopped talking about that because we got like monkeypox now, so that was the next.
Yeah,
No. We're
Ukraine.
talking about Johnny Depp, and then because they're talking like, oh no, there's a war. Russia's gonna declare war, and then Johnny Depp and Amber Heard having like, fuck that. Let's fucking Amber Heard, fucking defense team, fucking lunatics. Let's watch this. I was like, they're like monkeypox, like yes. What's next? So, like space pictures, like it's all this fucking goofy shit.
The other thing, when I watched this movie, I watched it and I didn't watch it straight because I would be at the gym. I watched some. Then I wanted Bae to watch it, so she watched with me. And I rewatched certain scenes. But I was like, if we watched this with Dante, I know there's a few parts we'd be yelling out. And one of the parts that I knew would get a reaction, she sure enough was yelling. It was like,
I'll check it out. I don't know when, because right now I'm on I've got
I didn't even know what it was.
project that I'm working on, and I gotta fucking watch a bunch of shit.
I don't even know what made me watch it. It's just like
Black people.
I think I was looking at
That's why I watch
Netflix
things.
and I was like, oh, most people like this movie because there's some bad movies on Netflix. It's like, oh, this one got a decent score. Let me check this one out. And I was blown away.
So I watched a few films this week. I'll go over just one because then you still got another one there too. We'll take turns. So I watched this film called They Them or They/Them, whatever you want to call it.
Is that the pronouns?
Yes.
I don't even understand this, by the way.
So it's a horror movie. It stars Kevin Bacon, which if you tell me horror movie and Kevin Bacon, I'm watching no matter how bad it might be. This wasn't that bad.
Is this somewhat released?
It came out Friday.
Okay.
So
So I haven't seen him in a while.
It's weird because he pops up in a lot of these types of movies that aren't like big name productions, but he does pop up in a lot of stuff. So I just watched something last year called You Should Have Left. Another horror movie. It is funny because like Kevin Bacon most actors started their career in horror. Kevin Bacon started off in Friday the 13th. He was in the first Friday the 13th.
I didn't even realize that.
He got killed, as most did. He was laying in bed. Hand comes over the bed, holds his forehead down, knife to the back of the neck, comes on the outside. Skeet, skeet. Um, so they slash them. I think that's what they're calling it. They slash them, since it's a slasher. It's about a conversion therapy camp. And I'm not even gonna go like I started thinking about it. I was like, I'm gonna start trying to when I go through my movies, I'm just gonna give you the good, the bad, the ugly, and I'm gonna give you my score. So the good about this movie is that um you had characters that you're at a conversion camp, so you got gay characters and a couple trans characters. I'm pretty sure all the characters that were playing gay or trans character were actually gay or trans, and I think that's cool. On one note of it, it's like they're like, well, you can't have, you know, a non-gay player character play a gay character in a movie. Yeah, I mean, if they're a good actor, sure you can. But in the case of this movie, I think you had to have, gay and trans characters, actors playing in these characters. So that was my good from it. The bad, just because you're gay and trans and you're in the movie doesn't mean you can act. There's some rough scenes, like rough scenes. I was like, oh my god, I hope this is your only film credit. So the acting was a little rough, in some scenes. Like not overall as a movie, it was fine, but there were some scenes just like, oh my god, how many times did they have to shoot that? And that's the best they got. Come on, son. The ugly, some of the CGI. Maybe it might not have been the CGI. It might have just been like the hue that they use. Just looked a little funky. Now, I'm no Cisco or Ebert. I'm no fucking film reviewer. So most times I don't care about that. But it did catch my attention a couple times. Ultimately, what it boils down to is like there's a conversion therapy camp. Kevin Bacon, he runs this camp with, 4 other counselors, all white. And that's what they're doing. They're trying to convert these kids back to being quote unquote normal. There is 2 trans characters. One of them is very, very clear about it because, like, they look like a boy. And, like, they're just standing there when they kind of separate everybody by gender. And they're just standing there, like, and what are you doing? Or they said, what's he doing? It's like, my name's Jordan, and my pronouns are they, them. As in, they can't believe they're fucking doing this. And you can already tell, it's like, oh, this motherfucker. This is going to be a pain in the ass the rest of the fucking movie.
I don't understand the pronouns, by the way. Like, what is it?
I don't care. I don't care.
I'd be like, yeah, I'm called he, him. What does that mean?
Who cares? Like, I'm going to be honest. And that's not to be insensitive.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be either. I literally
care.
just don't even understand what it means.
It's like, because there's some people that, like, don't assume my gender. Like, well, I mean, like, you look like a dude, so I'm assuming you're a dude. That's my assumption. You out here balling
and why
like
is
a
that
dude.
bad? Just correct me.
All right. Do you want my take on it? 'Cause I give you my
yes,
take
Ben
on it.
Shapiro.
My take on it is, so you remember the early 2000s, like, just about every white girl wasn't just white. They were Greek, or they were Cuban, or they were Italian, or they were Swedish. Everybody wanted to fucking be special. That shit wore off quick. Because it was like, shut the fuck up. Like, you're not special. Just get over yourself. Fast forward about 15, 16 years later, that shit came back in force. People just want to be special. Everybody wants to be special. Everybody wants to be different. Everybody wants to be unique. This might sound very insensitive, and I know that it is, and I don't care that it sounds insensitive. I'm not trying to be. But what I get from it is like, look, we're all fucking people at the end of the day. Like, who fucking cares? Like, if I call you a girl, yeah, you don't want me to call you a girl. I'm not going to call you a girl. You're a dude. I know you're a dude. Like that dude over there, Steve. This motherfucker over there. And honestly, in most cases, I call most people motherfuckers anyway. Bitch, motherfucker, son of a bitch, fucking dude, yo, son. Like, I don't care. Like, my manager, who is a female, I call her son all the time. She doesn't get upset.
Yeah,
Like,
with
fucking
two
relax.
cents. So I'm wondering. That just made me think. How does the Spanish language work, or the
So,
most languages besides the U.S. where they have a male and or a, what do you call it? Male female version of the
yeah.
word.
So now we have Latinx.
So you gotta say the middle
So
one.
so the Latinx is basically
So it's ah and oh. Now we got what?
it's like
You.
it's like who fucking cares? So yeah, good, bad, ugly. Score for this movie out of 10. I'm gonna give it a solid 5.5. It was enjoyable. It's good for background noise, but it's not something I would say I'm gonna sit down and consciously watch just as a film to watch. Like I wouldn't say, Steve, you gotta watch this movie. You don't. Now, if you happen to be flipping through and it's on and you got nothing else to watch, and like no other activities or hobbies to do, yeah, go right.
Those have the purpose. There's times we need those movies.
Yeah, well, exactly. So this is one of those movies where, again, I would put it on for background noise, but I wouldn't put it on as a movie that I would say, dude, I really want to watch. Like, I did want to watch it. Like, after watching it, now I know this isn't something I need to go back and revisit. So it was solid. I've showed you that the journal book I have for horror movies. I have it listed in there. I'm gonna do, again, my good, bad, ugly. Now that I got my fucking microphone for my phone, I can now start doing the fucking movie reviews. Because I tried doing them, but talking and the microphone from the phone trying to pick me, I was like, oh, that sounds horrible. So I got a microphone, so I can, like, a lapel microphone, so I can talk directly in, get the reviews, start setting up the book. I'm in a good spot right now. I'm in a good spot. You want to review this beer real quick?
Yeah, we crushed this one.
That was pretty decent.
So this one is called 51 Rye. And the reason it's called that is because it's 51% rye in this beer. I don't know what that means, but I don't know if you like rye. I couldn't
Like
tell you what
bread?
rye is. Oh, rye bread. What's that one sandwich with rye bread? I don't like rye bread, but that one sandwich is good.
Reuben?
Reuben.
That
Like-
has rye?
Yeah. Nothing with a Reuben I like individually, but when you put it all together, it is good.
So, what's the chocolate bread? The pumpernickel?
Oh, the dark bread. I
I
didn't know it was chocolate, but I know.
I don't think it's
dark.
chocolate. I just call it chocolate because it's brown.
So my grandparents used to love that bread.
Is it Texas Roadhouse?
I think it is pumpernickel.
One of those restaurants, that's the bread they bring to the table with the butter.
Oh yeah, that is.
It's fine.
Well, butter makes everything good. To me, though, how good is it if you have to have it with butter?
I think
Butter makes everything good.
Bread is good, period, with butter. Like, I don't just eat bread without butter. That just seems odd
to me, again, butter is what is good. So I always question lobster and crab, or lobster in particular. If you gotta drown it in butter, because everyone eats it with butter. How good is lobster?
What was it? I was something about butter. I can't remember. I forgot Butterface. All right.
Butterface is a great one.
Yeah. I'd be a hot chick, but Sam used to say I'd be a butterface. So
Damn.
I'd still get kind of offended by that. I'd be fucking beautiful, dude. Let's rate this beer.
I was thinking for a head. I was like, would you be offended to be called? I think everyone would be offended to be called a butterface. It means you have a good body.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Because, I mean, yeah, she's a butterface,
I
but
feel like face is a pretty big, important thing. That would really.
not all the time, dude.
No, but I mean in terms of yourself, looking at yourself.
Oh,
Like
well, yeah,
if people
I mean-
are telling you your face is butt ugly, that kind of hurt.
Well, I think what she's saying is if I was a chick, I mean, I'd just not be a good-looking chick.
Oh yeah, that's because you used to walk around telling people if I was a chick, I'd be hot,
Because I would.
and we'd look at you like,
Dude,
I
that'd
don't
be
know,
fucking...
we can't
dude,
see you as
that'd
a
be
chick.
fucking beautiful as shit, son.
We should use that app on you to see what you'd look as.
That'd be hot as
you know.
shit, son. Like, put me in a pair of fucking
Yeah,
Victoria's
he's fine.
Secrets. What's that? Yeah.
Yeah, his body looks odd.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee. We're watching him walk down the restaurant. Oh, let's rate this beer. 51 rye, American IPA with 51% rye. It has notes and flavors of grapefruit and orange peels. I'd taste orange peel. Yeah,
I taste beer.
Yeah, nothing. It's supposed to be citrusy, piney, and spicy. I can't taste spices, so you'd have to tell me if it's spicy.
Nah.
I don't feel like it's too memorable, but it's definitely solid. I mean, so 6.5%. This is a tough one to rate. I feel like.
Yeah, because it's tough for me to rate. I'm gonna give it a 6.6. It's very easy to do.
Yeah, it's not in the sevens. It's good, but
Yeah, it's delicious, but it's not something I would drink all the time. But if you hand it to me, I'm not gonna turn it away.
so it did have a little fruitiness.
But
On
I
that
don't know
last
that I
drink.
would. I don't know that I would buy it. And actually, yeah,
I'm gonna
I
give it
don't know.
6.7. So we're aligned.
Um,
We're pretty close.
yeah, it's
It's good, but yeah. 7 to me is something we'll buy. This was good.
um. You had
Oh yeah, so I watched
second movie.
another movie. So this one I watched in the theater, Easter Sunday. So it's a Joe Coy movie. Um, with him, with my girlfriend being Filipino, Joe Coy is Filipino. It's kind of like a Filipino. I don't know what you call it, family style movie.
Yeah.
Um, so I've not seen him in a movie before. I love his stand up. I mean, he's a great comedian. Um, there's not too many U.S. movies showing Filipino culture. So I think it does a good job. I think his goal was to make kind of like a feel good family movie. So I think it's an okay movie. I enjoyed it. Um, I wouldn't say the acting was good, great. I wouldn't say the story's anything spectacular. It's just one of those feel good movies. It's
Yeah.
just like, should you see it in a theater? And if you're not a big Joe Coy fan, probably not. But um, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I saw the trailer last night. And I was
It's
like,
just a feel good
I'll
movie.
watch it. Like
It's a
when it
little.
comes on
It's got a
TV.
little silliness to it. That is, the story's a little bit absurd. One
Do you
part
know
of
what
it, but
studio did it?
I don't.
That's an odd question, but
So I'm wondering if
that's
even.
how I determine like what streaming service it'll go to.
So I'm wondering, yeah, what also. I'm wondering if Joe Coy wrote this. It feels like he did because it's a lot similar to his stand up.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So if it is, I mean, again, he's. This is probably his first movie. Definitely a first movie he started, and then if it's the first movie he wrote, I mean, it's kind of like the last movie you said. If it's on, watch it.
Universal.
Don't go out of your way to see it though.
This might pop up on Peacock in November, October, November. I'll watch it. Well, yeah.
It's got a good message in the end. It's one of those type of movies.
You know how I
It'd be
feel about
like
a movie
watch
with a
around
message.
Thanksgiving.
So yeah, that's probably when it'll probably come out in November on Peacock.
I was a little confused with why it's called Easter Sunday and it came out now. Like maybe if you released it around Easter, it could have been a little bit better timing.
Yeah.
But maybe
Well,
not.
it probably got delayed though. But I just feel like it probably still wasn't going to get.
Yeah, I mean,
Like a big
I like
push.
Joe Coy. We saw him live. It was funny. I think the funniest thing about him was dissing Maryland Live. Because it's like, what is this place? It's a casino, but it's a mall. Like, what the hell?
Hold on, you got to see that shit was. Ah, go back. Here we go.
Pat is an
Here we go.
athlete. Oh, is this? I think I did see this.
Sorry, we're watching SummerSlam from last week. Here comes the push. Oh,
Oh yeah, I
solid
did see that.
backflip.
That shit was bad.
So these two were actually teammates on the Colts.
Okay.
So that's part of the static here, the beef between these two. So actually, let me jump to that real quick. So Vince McMahon, CEO,
He just stepped down,
yeah,
right?
he retired
Amongst
completely.
a lot
So-
of allegations of a lot of things.
So he retired. Stephanie, his daughter, steps up as co-CEO. I believe maybe with Tony Khan. I can't remember. Doesn't matter who else, to me at least. But Triple H is now in creative control of the roster, and immediately he started bringing back guys and gals that Vince let go, because Vince was like, for whatever reason, they don't fit the way he wants the story to go. And Triple H, so Triple H was running the minor league program NXT, and people loved it. And Vince snatched control. And I don't know, I haven't watched NXT since, but it doesn't sound like it's great. I'm not hearing the pop from fans that I was hearing before. And now that Triple H is in full creative control, it looks like we're getting some slow movement on, like at the beginning of this show, the women's title match was going on. Bianca Belair won. Bayley, who's been injured for over a year, came back, and she brought a couple other gals with her who had previously been released. So everybody got pumped about that. There's speculation that other wrestlers are coming back. Last night or a couple nights ago on Friday Night SmackDown, another wrestler who was released by Vince was brought back. So, in terms of pro wrestling fandom, there is kind of this optimism. I was like, maybe we'll get some fun storylines again. Whereas we're just getting kind of the same old watered down, like, oh, Brock Lesnar's champion again, Roman Reigns the big guy champion again. It's like, let some of those other microphone savvy talents get out there and talk. Let them get out there and show their athleticism. So it's fun. Like, it's fun because, like, I don't watch wrestling, but I do. Like, I read articles, but like when I put wrestling on, it's just for like background.
Yeah, sometimes when I eat, I'll throw it on, and I've noticed like the WWE's doesn't seem the same. And then one of those other Ring of Honors, that shit seems to be on a lot more.
AEW and Ring of Honor. Well, they're merged now.
They have a lot of former talent.
Yeah.
WWE.
Yep. That's what ended up happening is they were just cutting people, letting them go, and they were going to AEW. But from what it sounds like, even with AEW, because AEW is just basically, I don't want to say basically, but it's like, it's good to have competition. Like when WCW and WWE were going in those Monday Night Wars, good times. But eventually, WCW just got out of control, like, which I love having. I love having this app because I go back and watch that shit now. It's like, I just went on this like run, and I was watching like old NWO and WCW like events. Up until like when Hulk Hogan and Macho Man and everyone joined, I was like, oh shit, this is the transition.
It was wild as back then. I know a lot of wrestling fans love WCW, but I was so WWF because that's what I grew up with, and all my favorite wrestlers were. So I didn't even give WCW a chance. Like I remember Ric Flair was a big WCW one character, and I just didn't understand his character back then. Like I did not like him when I was a kid. So the Nature Boy, and he's this blonde-haired guy that doesn't look that muscular. I was like, what is this guy?
The thing is, though,
and he just goes, woo.
You weren't wrong, though, because WWF at that time was the mainstream thing. They sold it as a thing where it's like, you're going to get to see it Saturday mornings, and then they made it a Monday night thing. Then they would have the Saturday night main event. Then they started doing the pay-per-views. So WWF was all over the place. They had music videos, they had toys.
Yeah, the muscle. I mean, now I look back and realized how terrible of a wrestler Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior were. But when I was a kid, because they looked so muscular and the storylines and the charisma in their interview, and even the Ultimate Warrior wasn't even that charismatic, but his freaking muscles were ridiculous. So as a kid, I was like, oh, this guy's a beast.
Well, it's funny because it's like, as a kid, I was always a fan of Shawn Michaels. And, oh my God, when he kicked Marty Jannetty through the fucking window, like on Brutus the Barber's fucking barbershop.
I love Brutus the Barber, by the way. He was one of my favorites for whatever reason. I don't know what it was. Jake the Snake, too.
Jake the Snake was
maybe because it was his finish. He had like
the DDT.
He might have been one of the first ones with like a really finishing move. Like it was called something.
That shit looked like, oh my God, that looked like that shit would hurt somebody.
Like a lethal move.
But yeah, like when Shawn Michaels put Marty Jannetty through that window, I was like, this is it. This is my dude. WCW, I love Sting. Like, I like the smaller guys, like the guys that could move. Like Hulk Hogan, I mean, he was there, but I didn't like Hulk Hogan. I hated Ultimate Warrior.
But I don't know why. When I look back, I'm like,
but because I think
he's such a terrible wrestler.
It was the sell.
And Sting I didn't like because again it was like the competitor, and then his image before he had the dark image, but which I would have liked that more. But with the blonde hair,
Yeah, the
I just
surfer.
wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, that was this thing that well,
Oh, and he looked like the Ultimate Warrior. Now that I've know the story, now
so
I didn't know it back then.
yeah,
Was they were teammates
yeah,
and they were
the
the
Blade
war,
Runners.
yeah, and they both wore the same makeup, and I didn't realize that though.
Yeah, I like Sting when he was like the the beach blonde Sting. I was a fan
I
then,
remember him being huge.
and I when he went all black for the Crow, I was like, oh, this is my shit, son. And the thing is, he's stuck with it ever since. It's like you can change now. The Crow's done. Well, they're rebooting it, but you don't have to stick with the Crow. You know how many sequels to that fucking movie they made? It's like they made too many. So so yeah, I watched. Which one do I want to go with here? Let me go with. So I watched Prey. It's the Predator prequel. It was on Hulu. That also released on Friday as well. I had a busy weekend of movies, like off those three. They/them, Prey, and then my next one I'll go into in a bit. So Prey, Predator prequel, beautiful. It looks beautiful. It was a fun movie. Good, bad, ugly. The good to it, beautiful. Looked great. Um, I enjoyed the aspect of the Comanche Indian, and on Hulu you have an option. You can so I originally watched it in English. That's part of my ugly. It didn't feel right watching these Comanche Indians speak English. So I put on the Comanche dub. Feels fucking perfect. It just felt good. I don't speak that language, but it just felt right that it's like, okay, if this is supposed to be taking place in 1714, like I want it to feel authentic. So it was a very good looking movie. Um, I like that it kind of built up, like, because the thing that people were complaining about was like, the Predator came out in '87. He wiped out Arnold's team, and they had all types of weapons. How are some Comanche with bows and arrows going to fucking handle this guy? That was something in my mind. So it was like, come on, dude. Yeah, you're right. We're not going to go into that. But I did like the look of it, and you can kind of see the growth and the progression of the Predator because he obviously doesn't have all the weapons that the Predator in the present day, excuse me, would have. He was murking animals, just fucking up snakes and wolves and shit, just for funsies. It's kind of fucked up. My bad. The bad was I know we were watching a movie, but there's some cut the shit moments that I don't want to say without fucking spoiling anything. It was just like, really, dude? Like, that's just like, come on, dude. Like, if you are just watching it just for the sake of watching the movie, fucking great movie. But if you're watching the movie and wanted to make some sense, don't. The Ugly, again, when I watched it without the Comanche dub on, it just felt gross. Like, I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, they're cultural appropriators. No, I'm not one of those. It's just like, something felt off about them speaking English. Like, perfect English. Like, even if they, like, fuck some words up here and there, I'm like, okay, that feels right. But no, they're speaking perfect English. Giving it a score out of 10, I would give this a... So the funny thing I've been hearing is this from a lot of people is like, this is the best Predator movie since the original. And it's like, well, the bar's not very high. So, like, you can't, like, that's kind of shit to say. I would give this a 7. So,
That's a decent score.
It's a decent movie. It's just one of those things, like, if I'm looking for something to nitpick, those are the things I'm nitpicking. But overall, it is a fun movie. It's good. If you got Hulu, I would recommend checking it out.
So yeah, we should start rating our movies.
Yeah, I thought about that. I was like, I'm just gonna start.
We can rate our
that.
beers. We'll rate our movies.
Yeah, fuck it. We're a review show, son. All right, so I did watch. So like I said, Sarah and I we sent the kid off to go to a sleepover. And went out, got some Olive Garden because we're trying to be fancy and shit. I was gonna just order from some bullshit spot around the corner and just bring the shit home. Because honestly, I fucking hate going out. I was like, you know what? let's just go out. I do want to, like, my goddaughter's getting married September. That seems right. And I want to take her and her fiance out to dinner, before we do the wedding and everything. Just sit down and, like, chit chat. Because they came over a few months back. We had pizza. It was just a weird fucking, just things felt weird. And I was like, nah, let's go out eat. Make somebody bring us food. Because it feels weird when we're at the house and I gotta, like, try to make food and all this shit. Discombobulated and dropping shit and, making a mess. And then I'm like watching me like, ooh, go ahead, take a bite. Yes, they fell for it. That wasn't even cooked all the way. So I don't like, having people over in those situations. But so my wife and I, we went out last night, had some food. She would eat like all her food. Some bullshit. She like 3 bites, bitch. And then we went to the movies. So we decided to go see Nope. We were going to see Thor. But I was like, that should be hitting Disney Plus pretty soon. So let's just go see Nope. And I haven't really heard a lot about it. Like, most people that have seen it enjoyed it. I've only heard one person that was like, it's okay. And, to that person, I'm like, well, this is the thing. I don't go into fucking movies with any expectations. I gave that shit up a long time ago. More so with like the Marvel movies, because I was going in all hyped up and it's like, oh, they didn't do what I wanted them to do. I'm so sad about this movie now. And that's what all the fucking comic book fans are like now. So I'm out of that pocket. So with Nope, I went in no expectations. Fucking enjoyed it. Like, Sarah came and she was like, I think this might be my favorite Jordan Peele movie. I was like, this is my second favorite one. She goes, what's your favorite one? I was like, Get Out. She was like, God, I hated that one. I was like, of course you did. Like, most white people did. She goes, no. And I was like, everyone that I know that's white that watched that movie was not crazy about it. And I could see why. That movie was like, but I enjoyed it. Not because white people are like auctioning off.
I've liked all his movies, but yeah, I think I like Get Out slightly more than this one.
Yeah, and that's how I feel. Slightly more. I enjoyed this one, but what I enjoyed about this is, I think we can all agree. I would say most people would agree. The scariest part of that movie was the monkey scene. Fucking, just because that's real life. That's some shit that like has happened. It's based off of actual events. But what I took from this movie was not even, it's been long enough. Fuck it. It's not even about aliens. Like, that's not what I took from this movie, an alien movie. What I took from this movie was man's relationship with animals. That's what I took from it. And don't make it a spectacle. Because we saw what happened to Homeboy from Walking Dead. He was like, oh, we're going to make this shit a spectacle. We caught something. We want to show you on. We're going to make money off of it. And that motherfucker was like, oh, really? You make money off me? Bitch, let me show you something. So, but I enjoyed the fuck out of it. I was the only black person in the theater. Very uncomfortable. Very, very weird. Especially considering where I was. I was like, wow. The only black person in here. Another black dude came in the theater that we're in. The sound, like, you can't talk in that theater because everybody will hear. So another black dude did come in. He had a white chick with her. She was a redhead. And Sarah was like, oh, he brought a ginger with him. And I go, Sarah, you're loud as shit. She was like, no, I'm not. I was like, yes, you are. You're loud as shit. Shut up. They, shortly after that, got up and moved. Because we were the first ones in there. So we got all the way to the back. Like, it wasn't a lot of people in there. There was enough people, though, where I'm trying to think how many rows there were. Because, there were 4, maybe 5 different groups. And each group had a row of seats. So Sarah and I, we got the far back seat because we got there first. Then a family came in. They sat in the front row. I was like, fuck y'all. Then the next group came and sat behind them. Then another group behind them. And then the black dude and his girlfriend came in. And they sat right in front of us. And then Sarah made fun of his girlfriend. And they moved all the way to the very front of the theater. So either she was upset or that dude was like, let's get away from them because I want to get a hand job. And I need to get all the way up to the front so nobody could see it. I don't know. But I liked it. Good, bad, ugly. Like the good from this movie was, again, I thought it was very smartly done with some like interesting like little. They're like Jordan Peele has a knack for doing these little subtle things with his movies where you you catch it, but after the fact, like you have to think about it. Um, so I like what he does with his movies. Like somebody made a comment calling him the greatest horror director, and I like that he stepped up. Was like, well, fucking relax. I would not take any John Carpenter slander. Like that's not cool. I think he's a really fucking good director. I think he's a very smart director. The good from this movie again is like the subtle things that he kind of adds in there, like little tidbits about when you discover what they're dealing with, and the dude from Get Out points out is like it's like an animal. You know, if you're gonna tame a predator, you have to have a relationship there. You have to get permission. I just like those little things. It felt right. Um, Bad. I don't know that there's a lot of bad to it for me. Um, if I had to pick something that was bad about it, the alien thing did look a little fucking goof. Like initially it looked fine, but then once you start
Yeah,
really
when
getting
it
a
was doing
glimpse,
that square thing, like what the fuck is
yeah,
this?
that shit was like get the
I don't
fuck out of
understand
here.
what it is.
Like no, yeah, what, like yeah, fuck out of here. The ugly. So the guy who came, the photographer, the videographer who came with the crank camera.
Super deep voice.
Yeah, there was just something a little off about kind of that delivery, that character itself. That might be the only thing for me that I would say is ugly. Another good I liked was kind of how they established a brother sister relationship between Kiki Palmer and a dude from Get Out. I can never remember his name because I can't pronounce his last name, but I know it's easy to pronounce. I just refuse to learn it. But I like how they established that brother sister relationship. If it did feel almost genuine, like it was a brother sister relationship. So I like that. Um, if I'm giving this a score out of 10, I really like Get Out, and I would give Get Out a 9. I would give this a 7.5, maybe an 8. So it's in there though. So yeah, those were my movies. That's all I did this week.
We got a lot of good. I'll just rate Harder They Fall. I'm gonna say 9.5. It's elite to me. Highly recommended. More like the cinematography on that. If they don't win some kind of award, I'd be shocked. Easter Sunday, what would you say? Like beers wise, we got 6s. Mean we like it. I gotta give it a 5.5, but I mean it's enjoyable.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I get you. It's like it's
not-
enjoyable, but it's not something I would like.
It's
like,
not gonna win any award.
It's like, would I recommend it? I don't know that I would.
Yeah, I feel like this, to be honest, it's a niche audience. It'd be fun to watch around some holiday family gathering seasons. I think Filipinos will like some of the like little.
Well, it kind of falls in that pocket of like, you're not going to tell a black family, dude, you should watch Easter Sunday. But I wouldn't tell a Filipino family like, yo, you should watch The Best Man Holiday. It's like, you got your audiences for certain movies. But yeah, it's, I mean, they slash them, I mean, is the weakest of the movies that I watched this weekend. And that's only because, I mean, most horror movies aren't really, they're just kind of throwaways for the most part. I mean, I also watched The Babadook earlier this week too, which I watched it years ago, and I just didn't care. I watched it again. I cared more this time, and I understood what, it wasn't scary to me, but what I understood to the story is like, there's a single mom raising her son, and there's a lot of emotional pull there, which puts it in that elevated horror category. I fucking hate that shit. Elevated horror. It's conscious horror. Oh, you gotta be smart to like this. You have to understand. You gotta be a thinker. Fuck you. I don't like. Look, when I watch a fucking horror movie, I want to just I want to zone out. I don't want to fucking think. Like that was kind of one of my things with Jordan Peele's movies. Like I don't want to fucking think. but he does them in a way where it's like you think, but you can also put them on as kind of just like shoot the shit movies. You just put them on and you're like, just let it run. It's fine for background noise. Like I enjoy his other one, Us, but that's more of a, again, I'll put that on. I'm not watching it to watch it again. I'm watching it for background noise. Now, Nope, I would watch it again to really like just watch it. Get Out, I have watched it again, like just for the sake of watching it. I haven't bought it because I know Sarah hates it because I think she thinks like, like you think I'm going to auction you off, don't you? I was like, no, I don't. I mean, but your family is a little wild, so that's gonna be like they invite us over for Christmas Eve, and it's like it's just gonna be us, right? Like okay, because if Tammy and David show up, I'm not comfortable. They look like they auction and try to buy black people. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed those movies. I felt like it was a good time. I don't got a whole fucking bunch more to say, dude.
I think we're good.
Think
We gave you good movies to watch.
talk about Aaron Rodgers and mushroom eating and how it's making them better.
We didn't have any beers of chunks in it this week.
That's a good thing. That's a good win.
I'm a little confused because that post is the next one. If I should even post it, because you didn't give a score and I gave it a 2.
Well, I mean, no, I mean we did the.
We got the other one,
Yeah,
Natural Light.
yeah,
So maybe
post
I
that
skipped just the Natural Light.
Yeah, just post that one. That one wasn't much better, but still, at least it was.
Oh, it was way better.
Well, what I'm saying though is like, it's like at least it got 2 scores. The other one, I didn't even take a sip. I refused. That shit smelled horrible. It smelled like sewage.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll give a post and be like, unreviewable. Due to the chunks and smell. I mean, I actually tasted it. It was bad.
It smelled bad.
And that one is we did the regular lager because that was like the tropical version. Did a good score, and I believe Oberon was a respected beer.
I
So
mean,
maybe we had a bad batch.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like we probably just didn't get the right one. And that's fine. Sometimes that shit happens, son. I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
Well, you get bad food sometimes.
Yeah, I mean sometimes you go to Olive Garden, then you get fucking diarrhea.
We had chips and salsa at one of the bars we went to, and there's a few black chips in there. And
I thought you were gonna say black chicks. And I was like, what the fuck?
they're like, try it. And I did. And it tasted like a chip that has been in the oven like 400 times.
Sounds about
It
right.
was not good.
Sounds about
It was
right.
not the pumpernickel bread.
Like I was
There used to be a place at Columbia Mall that had that pumpernickel bread as a sandwich. And my grandparents loved coming to Columbia Mall. It was back when they had the 2 different eateries.
Oh
You
yeah,
remember
yeah,
that?
I remember that.
And they had some kind of sandwich shop, and they loved that sandwich shop.
I'm gonna real quick before we get out of here. This might turn into a tangent. I mean, we got time. We're way under like our regular time, so we got time for a tangent. So there's an old friend of ours we used to work with. Like they reached out and was like, we should get everybody together, and go out, get together. So I brought it up to Winter, and Winter was like, It was like, why? What's up? It was like, have you seen their Instagram stories? I was like, nah, I don't really like. I look at BJJ Wiki's Instagram stories because you might catch an occasional twerker in there. Dude, I'm all about just look. If I know there's gonna be twerking, I'm showing up. She was like, you haven't seen her Instagram story? I was like, no. What's up? She was like, super Trumpy. I was like, really? Like, oh wow. And a lot of times that doesn't bother me. Because I'm just like, okay, I mean, you like who you like. Depending on how you like it, though. If you're like, he's the savior. It's like, oh, you're one of those. You like, I love me a good cult. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes you can look at a cult and just tell that's a cult. Like I like a cult that you don't know it's a cult until you're too far in, like a sex cult. It's like, whoa. You're going to brand me? It's too late. You're already in. May as well buckle up and go for that ride. This one, it's like, come on, dude, y'all are dumb. But I put up a post recently, and this person commented, and like she and I have had these, I don't want to say disagreements, but it's like if you haven't watched something before, but I have. I wouldn't go to you. You haven't seen that? Like you're crazy, or like what I like is best. It's only it's only good if it's with this. It's that type of personality. And like I think about it, I was like, that shit sucks. Like it must suck to think that like everything that you like is the only thing that it should be liked. Number one, but number two, sucks be super Trumpy, and that might be the title.
That might hurt us.
That
We gotta. Well, what's wild is as much as I didn't like him, I'm like I might feel him a little more than Biden right now because Biden just seems like he's not even here.
I don't think Biden knows he's the president, dude.
He's wild.
He just shows up to like meetings, like Mr. President. He's
Yeah,
looking like, is he here?
The amount of videos of him just making no sense at all is astounding. How many there are?
Did you see him fall off the bike, dude? Fucking so.
Oh
good.
yeah, I did. Yeah. There's the time he's walking in the lawn too, and he goes in the wrong direction and tries to just play it off.
Ay. Look, I mean, Trump was good for comedy. Biden's good for comedy, but in all the worst ways. It's like,
Yeah, his sentences are just wild. I love when they try to do the subtitles, and it's just like like, what is he saying? He just loses track. I mean, he completely forgets what he's talking about.
when they try to do fucking captions for him, they're like inaudible. Just go. They're like, we don't know what he's saying.
Yeah, he'll just forget what he's talking about and start talking about like an old story. Like, that one story he has of like the pool, the kids used to like to rub on his leg hair. Like, what is that story? It's the creepiest story I've ever heard.
Like, I don't do like. How do we?
The
Like,
kids, they used to love to rub my leg hair.
how do we get something voted through so we can just say, hey, there should be an age limit? Like,
Oh, that is something that probably should be a thing now. It's like
What-
because the age limit's the wrong way.
What would you say-
have to be a certain age to be
so
president.
you have to
And
be
it's pretty-
35.
right? And
So-
there's very few.
What would you say would be a good cutoff age?
55 maybe at the most. 50 even.
I
I feel like when you're in your 60s,
I
you're
would-
out of touch with today's.
some. There's some 60-year-olds. I think if you're open-minded enough, where you're not losing. I think once you hit those 70s, though, it's not even about being out of touch as much as it's about
Who was the youngest president? Was it Kennedy or
Kennedy or Obama.
Obama?
It was one of those two.
And were they in their
40s.
Man, I feel like a 35-year-old would be perfect in a way.
I don't think so, dude. I think that's rough. Because have you seen some of the 35-year-olds out there?
Well, imagine if the president won. It's going to be I mean, just someone. I mean, I don't know. I think we need something different.
Well, no, yeah, not.
Let's
you
have
think
like
we know.
certain positions.
Well, it's like, so there used to be this game I played on a computer called Civilization, and eventually, like, you get to this point where I never did democracy because that shit was always toppling, so I would always do a monarchy because it just seemed like the easiest one to run. But you would have advisors. You'd have a science advisor,
Yeah,
financial
I feel like
advisor.
we had.
Yeah, we need like someone that's an expert in each of those fields, not just like, here's our presidents. And the thing is, we do have those, but we have the president as the lightning rod, and those advisors are supposed to be the ones that goes to the president. But the president can decide to listen to him or not. So when it was Trump, he was like, I don't like the sound of that. I'm a businessman. This will be fine. And it was like, no, Mr. President, that's not, you can't write that about Rosie O'Donnell. No, it'll be fine. It's like, that's not fine. And then, all of his followers were like, yeah, it's fine. He's great. He's like the drunk uncle at the cookout. Like, would you want your drunk Uncle Cecil to be the fucking president? Because I feel like he does heroin. And he probably shouldn't be the president. That's just, heroin addicts are not good presidents. I'm going on a hunch. They may not be a good president. So, I don't know. But, yeah, we something's got to be done, dude. And I don't, when's the next election? What year are we in? 22?
Probably like what, year 2 of them?
So, we'll, going into 2024 is the next election. Man,
Did you see the videos of Trump Jr. Asking for the Trump card you can join?
Yeah, so
That shit's
yeah.
wild. And like, if you fall for that, like, you're just donating money for a fake membership. You don't get any perks.
I want to try to find out and see if people. I want to find out how many people.
You
sign
get a
up.
card.
I got a card.
So I was like, you just carry your card around, but
How,
it doesn't
like,
actually.
did he say how much? How much did it cost?
I was like, I think it was under $20 or something. But
Okay,
I was like, but he was like, get your Trump card now because this is the last week you can get it. And I was like, huh? This isn't even a thing. And at first I was like, oh, is this like some kind of credit card he does? Like, no, it's actual like just a card that say you're a member.
Jesus,
It's basically like a fan club.
dude. That's we live in a fucking make believe.
Can you imagine? Yeah, like, what do? You pull out your card, like, I'm a member. Congratulations, you just donated money to someone that is already well off. They're not doing anything with your money.
Jesus Christ, dude. All right, well, that being what it is, that's fucking bonkers. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Colompton cards are underway.
Yep.
You can join.
How much was the Trump card? $19.99. We're selling ours for $18.99.
Way better.
Actually, $16.99. $18.01 after
And
tax.
ours are not gold; it's platinum.
Relax.
Wait, we'll have different levels. You can be a
Relax.
platinum member or a gold member.
Platinum member is $19.99. Gold members $16.99. No tax. Thanks as usual for listening, y'all. I feel like we didn't have shit to say, but it looks like we got a bunch of shit off our chest. So I'm tired as fuck. So definitely, thank you everybody. If y'all got any questions, concerns, criticisms, reach out to us. I can be found at bjj.wiki on Instagram. Steve's at thor.bentley on Instagram. Together, we're on Colompton Beer Club on Instagram. Shoot us a message. Be nice. Say something sweet. Whisper to me, baby. Otherwise, yeah, I don't really have much more. Thank you. We ain't got no sponsors, so if you're trying to sponsor us, let us know what's up. We need some new equipment. Not really though. I think we're good on equipment.
Send up some beers.
Yeah. Send some beers for sure. Like Steve's coming out of pocket for the beers. Like, send that shit, son.
Yo, when I buy the beers, they hate ringing them up.
Fuck
I don't know what it is when it rings up. They have to like press all these buttons on the register when you buy the single.
Make them earn their
It makes
fucking
the sounds
paycheck.
like dun dun dun.
Oh well, they earning a check, bitch.
Yeah, the guy today was nice. He was dealing with some terrible customer before me.
Fucking.
One of those-
He's like, you're in the liquor store. Why are you upset? Like, I'm in the liquor store. I'm happy as fuck. I'm getting
He had
a
all
box
these
of
papers
wine.
with him of like some kind of discount codes he had. But the guy was like,
What?
the only way I can get discount is like I have to scan something. You don't have any barcodes on there. I don't know what to do with this.
Fucking dumb. All right, yeah. So send us some beers. Sponsor us something. Otherwise, you know what's up, Steve.
Subscribe to our OnlyFans.
Shh, that's
Good
not ready
soup.
yet. Like, I don't have the dick pics ready. Bye, y'all.